Okay, so that's the 7th episode of my Britcom retrospective written up. Maybe I should actually do those as videos instead of just writing them down as a creative experiment of Jesus fucking... Ah!
Phew. Okay, time to get back to business. Uh-oh. Hey, sorry! Are you alive down there? Please say yes.
I think I bit my tongue.
Oh, good. Wait. I know that Welsh accent.
Okay, yeah.
BronyDan!
Wait. Hewy Toonmore?
I was gonna say flesh, but that would be a lie. At last we meet. Yes, I've lost weight. Zion's already made that joke.
Well, where the hell have you been? I mean, I know things have been pretty quiet down your end. I just wasn't expecting... this.
Time card, please.
2 hours later.
Then after the battle, Big Jack Films used his teleporter on me again and sent me to your place. Think you got all that?
Okay, so, long story short, soul leaves body, been going around doing different collabs with different reviewers to get back to your own channel, and now...
It's your turn.
Oof. I mean, are you sure? I mean, I haven't done a review in like 3 years.
Hey, don't worry. Just because you haven't done it for a while doesn't mean you can't do it. Look at me. I haven't done a review in years either, but when Isaac found me and we reviewed Cadillacs and Dinosaurs together, it was like riding a bike.
Alright, you guys have a deal. So what do we review?
Well, how about an episode of Friendship is Magic? I already reviewed an episode of G1 MLP, so it only makes sense to do something from G4.
What about G2 or G3?
Nobody's that sadistic.
Touché.
So, what episode should we review? Your show, your choice.
Well, I haven't reviewed much from seasons 8 and 9, so, how about a horse's play?
Horse play?
Yeah, you know, the one with Celestia and the theatre and it...
God damn it!
Well, Boridar or Pronounda, every pony. This is BronyDan. It's not original, but hey, you try coming up with reality these days. And joining me today is what's left of fellow reviewer Hewy Toonmore.
Hey everyone. I'd go on about who I am and what I do, but right now I'm just too pissed off to do so.
Yeah, that seems to be the general consensus whenever people talk about Season 8 of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. Now, personally, I do feel that Season 8 was definitely the weakest season overall, even though there are some things I did like. I like the Friendship School and the Student 6.
I don't.
As I was saying, I liked them because I felt it was a good way of establishing more world building in Equestria, and there were some good episodes made during that year. But for some reason, this season was certainly more mediocre to just bad with its episodes, and I don't know why. Maybe it was a sense of the writers running out of steam as they were reaching the end and they just wanted to get on to Season 9 as quickly as possible and wrap things up. But this is usually the season I tend to skip, aside from the odd episode.
I personally blame studio meddling, with Hasbro forcing the show's staff to add in new characters and places in order to sell more toys, whether it made sense or not. I mean, this wouldn't be the first time. Remember what M.A. Larson said about what happened with Magical Mystery Cure and Fame and Misfortune? Plus, who ever heard of a school that teaches friendship? Friendship can't be taught in a school! That's just ridiculous!
Well, but like I said, not all episodes are bad, so let's see if we can get through one without getting scathed.
No promises.
This is a horseplay.
Ugh.
Shut up. We open with Twilight and Celestia discussing her once-versary.
the 1111th year anniversary of when you first raised the sun.
Good thing Pinkie Pie reminded us. We would have forgot to celebrate.
You know how unimportant it is when not even Celestia remembers to celebrate. Or when only Pinkie Pie remembers and has to remind you to celebrate.
Anyway, Twilight has decided to commemorate the occasion with a play that will be performed at the School of Friendship, while Celestia...
I think a play is a fantastic idea.
Did she just prance?
And so continues Celestia's further degradation as a character.
Really? Not even a minute in and already you're complaining? Wait, further degradation of her character? When did that start?
Make new friends but keep Discord, with Celestia being happy that Discord and the Smooths almost got innocent ponies hurt.
Oh yeah, when she invited him because the gala's boring and she wanted to make it more amusing. Kinda like when she did the exact same thing with the main six back in season 1.
Oh, Twilight, the Grand Galloping Gala is always awful.
I'll explain why this bugs me later. Moving on.
Well, at least Celestia is passionate about the theatre.
I've always believed theater brings out the best in us and forges a special bond of friendship.
Yes, a bond of friendship. You know, like being constantly shat in every single production you go to because the director has his favourites and you're not one of them because he doesn't think you're attractive enough and then he leaves your names out in all the credits. Oh yes, that bond of friendship! Feeling inspired by Celestia's words of wisdom, Twilight then decides to offer her the leading part in the play as herself. But there's just one problem. Celestia's not an actress. You'll address why this bugs you later on?
Yes!
But how are we supposed to give her directions? She's the ruler of Equestria.
Come on, how many times has Celestia helped us, guided us, been a warm, calming voice over our shoulder?
Twilight.
Helped you? Once or twice, at most. The rest of the time you had to bail her ass out of situations. Guided you? Once. Warm, calling voice over your shoulder? Plenty of times. Or, that's a trick question, right?
So Celestia agrees to star in the play as Twilight tells the rest of the main 7, that still feels weird to say, about the arrangement.
Imagine doing sweaty warm-ups with a princess, blowing your nose in front of a princess, sitting around just talking with a princess.
Are you kidding? I think many people in the Brony fandom would have jumped at that opportunity.
I'm a princess. You talk to me. That's different. You're not a princess. Thanks.
And this is why you suck as a good guy, Starlight Glimmer. You bitch.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. I just don't want to piss him off more.
Quit fretting. It's only a couple of pals getting together to put on a one's-versary play. What could go wrong?
Oh my god, did Applejack just jinx it?
Yeah, she jinxed it. So later, the ponies are doing dress rehearsals and... Wait. Dress rehearsals? Already? Damn, that was quick. Which means that Twilight and the others had already been doing regular rehearsals before getting Celestia's permission to even do the play. Jeez, imagine how awkward things would have been if Celestia had said no. That's like filming a movie before the studio even greenlit your screenplay. And then we get to this part.
It is time for a new day in Equestria.
What?
Oh, I said, it is time for a new day.
Let me guess, you're now gonna talk about why this bugs you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna get myself comfortable.
In my opinion, making Celestia a terrible actor was a terrible idea. And kinda doesn't make sense. She is royalty, which is like a politician, and politicians are some of the best actors out there. I mean, how else do they convince the public that what they say is a good thing? Dan, if I've offended you, a citizen of the United Kingdom in any way, I am sorry.
No. Carry on, I'm getting to a good part here.
Celestia has publicly addressed her subjects hundreds of times for over 1,000 years at social gatherings, special events, and whatnot, so how is acting on stage any different? Plus, Twilight said it herself. Celestia is playing herself! She was there when she first raised the sun, so how does she not remember how she said the line back then?
You done?
For now. but it only gets worse from here.
Well, before we do, let's get to my counter-argument. First of all, I think there is a massive difference between politicians acting and actors acting. Just because one happens to be good in one field, that's not gonna mean they're gonna excel at all forms of acting. Hell, I wouldn't look at any of our current politicians and think, yeah, I could totally see them in the Royal Shakespeare Company. It would be embarrassing. A good example? Margaret Thatcher performing with the cast of Yes Minister. It's painful.
But Celestia is playing herself, yet she sucks at it?
Well, again, so was Thatcher. And that was with material that her own people wrote, not the original series writers.
Capital, my dear Sir Humphrey. Capital. You'll know exactly where to start.
Yes, Prime Minister.
Little known fact, that was the first time that Yes Prime Minister was said before the actual Yes Prime Minister series actually started.
Alright. You make very good points, and I would agree with you if this was as bad as her acting got in the episode.
Well, it's not, is it?
And here's something else that makes me angry.
Honestly?
Great! Wow! It's hard to believe you've never done this before. Let's move on to the dance number!
Ugh. Yet another lying is bad lesson. Like we haven't had enough in this series already.
I think we're up to at least 20 by now.
Oh, surely it's gotta be more than that. Seriously, why does nobody ever listen to Applejack?
Because then they're...
If you say there wouldn't be a plot, I will kick you in the plot.
Yeah, no legs.
Well then pray we never meet in person.
Anyway, after a few less than successful dance routines, Twilight asks for some suggestions from her friends, which include the usual comments. Tell Celestia she's no good, or cancelling the show.
Unfortunately, both suggestions are out. The first due to Twilight being a paranoid idiot, and the second due to Rainbow Dash being a loudmouth and spreading word about the play.
Let me guess, this is why Rainbow Dash is your least favourite.
I never said that.
Really?
Twilight decides to continue with the whole play, but offers Celestia some acting lessons with thespian ponies on stage and Raspberry Beret and... Ugh.
Oh, great. Another tirade?
Just watch.
Whoosh! Whoosh! Oh, it's so snowy today. Brr! I'm getting chilly.
Should I get you a blanket?
I've gotta say, as someone who considers himself an improv actor and has seen almost every single episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway and the Green Screen Show, I feel insulted. Celestia is meant to be the terrible actor here? Come on, these guys are so obviously worse!
Well, rule of funny?
That only applies to the scene actually was funny. Also, I can accept Celestia not being a good actress. But are they seriously trying to say that Celestia is so clueless that she doesn't even grasp the concept of playing pretend? Come on, man. You're an improv actor, right? Don't tell me this doesn't offend you at least a little bit.
Well, it's... Look, let me try to explain my stance on this. Yes, the improvisation is a bit basic and a little ridiculous, but I do feel like I have to give it a pass because this is still a kid's show.
I'm so sick and tired of that line. Just because something is a kid's show doesn't mean the writing has to be this half-assed.
Yeah, but have you ever considered the possibility that maybe stripping things down to its most basic form is a good introduction to children so that it may encourage them to go out and pursue it at a later point in their lives?
Okay, and Celestia not knowing how to pretend?
The Ponyville Express is leaving the station! Woo, woo!
It is? I don't see anything.
Okay, fine, yeah, that one's a little bit hard to believe.
Thank you! Well, at least we found one thing we can agree on, out of the 200 other things we don't.
Well, anyway, let's see what's going on at the theatre. Yeah, that's about as accurate as you can get from most productions.
This is why Pinkie Pie is my least favorite pony in this episode. I mean, come on, the whole thing is basically her fault if you really think about it. I mean, the writers basically made her an oblivious moron in this episode. She destroys almost half the sets with a giant flaming marshmallow, and then there's this part!
Why would untested magic fireworks
fireworks that I bought in a back alley from Trixie at midnight be unsafe?
Oh, come on, surely even you have to admit that that was funny.
More like disrespectful.
What will it take to make you laugh?
Actual comedy! And it is here where Twilight finally loses it. And frankly, I don't blame her.
It was supposed to be a simple play, just one simple play, and then everything goes wrong, from the stage to the props, right down to the worst lead actress in Equestria!
Twilight, if you honestly felt I was a bad actress, why didn't you tell me?
Because she's constantly blinded by the fact that you're not perfect and she can't see it. Yeah, you may be blaming Pinky, but I'm blaming Twilight. She done this to herself.
Won't argue there.
So Celestia storms off because Twilight didn't tell her the truth sooner, just as the audience is coming in. Wow, what a diva. And the alternative is no better.
Oh no.
No pony's gonna volunteer to try to tame that.
No pony, indeed.
No.
So, who likes juggling?
God, poor Spike! Even after saving the Crystal Empire twice, the main six still treat him like their own personal butt monkey.
Seriously, they were doing so well up to this point. I mean, I love seasons 4 and 5. That, for me, is peak MLP. But it was also peak Spike abuse. And it just seems like they've backpedaled to it.
What's worse, look at how the audience treats him.
Good news. Free food.
Yeah. The audience just booed and threw tomatoes at the hero of the Crystal Empire for his juggling act. What a bunch of assholes! And look, Luna's in the audience too! How the hell would she allow something like this to happen?
Well, mob mentality?
Don't try to defend this!
Yeah, I can't defend this.
Meanwhile, Twilight is able to catch up to Celestia and tries to better explain why she lied.
You've guided me since I was a filly. You've given me knowledge and advice and friendship. Just once, I wanted to be able to give something back to you. I know what I did was wrong. I should have told you the truth, but I promised you could be in our play. I had to make it work. Nothing would make me feel worse than knowing I disappointed you.
Alright, I gotta admit, this is a really great scene.
Thank you! Whew, some positivity from you at last.
Just one problem,
Oh,
though.
fucking course there is!
It should have happened back at the theater when Twilight was exposed. That way, we wouldn't have had to go through the whole tired liar reveal trope again. Plus, it would have saved Spike the humiliation.
So they return to the theatre. Celestia pretty much becomes the stage manager, a position that I too have held in various productions. I'm quite proud of it. And the show finally starts.
You call those great sorcerers?
No, hecklers!
And if this were real life, she'd be kicked out and banned from the theater. Seriously, despite what you see in movies, TV, and cartoons, heckling can actually get you into a lot of trouble, so I wouldn't recommend doing it. Plus, in all honesty, who would be so cruel as to heckle at a school play? What were they expecting, the Met?
And Fluttershy is playing Celestia because we still have that render from testing 1, 2, 3 and we're never going to get a chance to use it again. Celestia joins in by raising the sun at the end and the play's over. Wait, that was it? That was barely even a monologue!
Yeah, what happened to the dance number and all the other lines Celestia was supposed to have? What kind of play only lasts about a minute long? You'd have been better going the Monty Python route and just have a series of small sketches set around the time and then end with that. Could have been more interesting and everyone would have gotten a line in. You know, come to think of it, why didn't Celestia just offer to replace the broken sun prop herself? I mean, she has the money. Could have saved every pony a lot of trouble and Pinkie Pie wouldn't have destroyed the set.
Well, that was a horseplay, and is it a stretch to say that this review has changed your opinion?
That depends. Has yours?
No.
Then no.
I mean, yes, I'm not afraid to admit that the episode does have some minor irritations. Most of the last few minutes are a bit unfortunate to say the least, and sometimes it feels a bit too rough, plus Twilight's actions and the liar reveal trope, which has been done before in better episodes. But I'm not gonna flat out say that it's terrible. It does have some moments that, as a theatre man myself, I just end up laughing myself because of how close to reality it feels to me. I'm always happy to see more development in Celestia's character and personality, even if it does come a bit too late into the series' run, but I do feel like this was one of the better episodes of Season 8. Not great, not terrible, it's just okay.
As for me, well, the reason why I still hate this episode is because, for all the reasons, Dan liked it. You see, I was a drama student myself back in high school, and I loved it. And while this episode may have given Dan good memories of his experiences in the theater, to me, it just feels so insulting. I will admit that there were parts that I did enjoy, but for the most part, Twilight still treats Celestia like her superior, even though they are equals now. Celestia's acting coaches feel like they give improvisation a bad name. Spike is still treated like crap by his so-called friends. Pinkie Pie is a careless idiot who practically almost destroys everything with her antics. Poor Applejack's advice to tell the truth is constantly ignored, even after all the time she's been proven right in the past. And finally, and this is the big one for me, I just hate how they characterize Celestia post-Season 4. I mean, in these later seasons, they've made her a reckless, childish, inconsiderate thrill-seeker who has no idea how to pretend, is okay with discord almost throwing some pony into another dimension, doesn't bat an eye when her former top student has constant panic attacks, and is scared of chickens. Friggin' chickens! I just wish she was treated better is all. Not saying I want her to be the perfect, flawless pony from Season 1, but just better than what we did get. She just doesn't feel like the wise, motherly mentor that I can look up to anymore.
So, in conclusion,
we're right back where we started.
Well, hopefully somebody will find some entertainment in all these ramblings.
Yeah, sure. Well, thanks for having me here, Dan. Even if it still doesn't solve the bigger problem.
Which is?
I have spent 3 years wandering about in World of Warcraft hell, spent the next 2 years surfing the internet and collaborating with different reviewers, took part in a multiversal war in Canada, and I'm still nowhere close to finding my body. I mean, how many more of these do I have to do before I just disappear into nothingness? Let's face it, Dan, it's hopeless. I'll never get back to my body. Which means my review show is dead. And soon, so will I. Hey, whoa! What's happening to me? I feel really weird. I don't like this.
Oh, hang on. You think this could be it?
I don't know, man. I just thought I'd fade away or something. This... I don't even think I even want to know what this could be.
Hewy, look, just hang on a minute. I'll see if I can go and get some help.
Dad!
Hewy! Hewy! Shit! Forgot to ask you if the animated recons of Doctor Who would count for a review. Oh. I hope you're alright, Hewy. Wherever you are. Well, this is BronyDan saying... Nostar. But hopefully not forever.